Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a pretty wild contrast between the highly regulated, painfully slow-moving world of European credit laws and the absolute blinding speed of new autonomous AI agents. We all spend so much of our lives navigating these bureaucratic mazes and rigid financial rules, right? But today, we're going to look at how the technology being built right now is set to completely revolutionize how we manage all those complex, tedious systems.
So here is the game plan for today. We'll kick things off by looking at qualifying for personal credit. Then we'll look at terminating a credit contract before pivoting to the AI speed revolution. And finally, we'll meet your new autonomous agent. Now, you're probably looking at this and thinking, wait, what on earth do super strict credit laws have to do with cutting-edge AI agents? It sounds completely unrelated. Well, we're going to connect those dots by showing how the incredibly paperwork-heavy, bureaucratic systems we deal with every single day are exactly the types of complex, multi-step tasks tomorrow's AI is explicitly built to handle for us. Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, Qualifying for Personal Credit, where we'll look at the strict mathematical rules of Swiss finance. It's actually fascinating how Swiss consumer credit law literally uses hard math to wipe out any ambiguity and prevent over-indebtedness. The law mandates a very specific calculation. Lenders must take your freely available monthly budget, so what's left over after all your fixed costs, and multiply it by exactly 36. The crucial takeaway here is that lenders have to mathematically prove that your loan, plus all the interest, can be totally paid off within this precise 36-month window of your disposable income. If the math doesn't work out, it's a hard stop. You legally cannot get the credit. And this basically creates an incredibly rigid checklist for modern adult life. Miss even a single criterion on this list. Boom, automatic denial. Based on our sources detailing these Swiss requirements, you've got to be over 20, but critically, you can't be older than 70 when the contract actually ends. You need a specific residency status, a minimum net income of 3,000 Swiss francs, and your debt history has to be nearly spotless. It's a highly structured, totally unyielding process that puts a huge administrative burden on you, the consumer, to track. Moving right along to Section 2, terminating a credit contract. We're going to look at the slow, very deliberate legalities of Belgian law to see how this rigidity continues, even when you want to get out of a contract. Just look at how stark this comparison is. The difference in legal protections is like night and day. You, as the consumer, have the power to cancel anytime, totally fee-free, with a maximum of just 1 month's notice. But look at the lender's side. They are forced to move at a snail's pace. They have to give a minimum of 2 months' notice, adhere to these mandatory good faith clauses, and honestly, they can only terminate if the contract explicitly spells out that they can. Now, looking impartially at this text, it's totally obvious that the law is intentionally slow. It's designed to protect citizens, which is great. But let's be real, managing that slowness is a massive headache. Whether you're tracking a 36-month budget window in Switzerland or marking a 60-day notice period on your calendar in Belgium, navigating financial bureaucracy demands a ton of ongoing, relentless administrative oversight from you. All right, on to Section 3, the AI speed revolution. We are doing a complete 180 here, pivoting away from the molasses-slow world of European finance to the absolute blistering pace of Silicon Valley and how they are breaking the intelligence, speed, price triangle. To really grasp the breakthrough we're seeing right now, you gotta understand the tech triangle. Traditionally, this is an old-school engineering rule that says you can only pick 2 out of 3 attributes for an AI model: intelligence, speed, or price. Like if you wanted it smart and cheap, you had to accept that it was going to be slow. If you wanted it fast and smart, good luck, it was prohibitively expensive. But Google is now claiming their new Gemini 3.5 Flash model has completely shattered this old paradigm. We are quite literally looking at a thrilling new frontier here. 280. That number is just staggering. That is the amount of tokens Gemini 3.5 Flash pumps out every single second. For context, a token is roughly a piece of a word. Pushing out 280 of them per second fundamentally changes what is even possible to build with AI, because it means AI can now operate, react, and reason in genuine real time. The data here really spells it out. Google isn't just selling speed. They are selling incredibly high intelligence at a velocity roughly 4 times faster than the competition. While other premium models are hovering around, 60 to 70 tokens per second, Gemini 3.5 Flash hits 280. And they're doing it at a drastically lower price point of just $1.50 per million input tokens. This massive leap in speed, combined with that drop in cost, suddenly makes complex, everyday use cases completely viable, things we couldn't even dream of doing just a few months ago. And this quote, it perfectly captures the gravity of what we're looking at. When Demis Hassabis, who, by the way, is the CEO of Google DeepMind and just won the 2024 Nobel Prize in Chemistry, explicitly states we're at the foothills of singularity, I mean, wow. He believes human-level general intelligence could arrive by 2030. He is not using this phrasing lightly. We're crossing the threshold from tools that just passively answer our questions into tools that actively take action on our behalf. Which brings us right to Section 4, Meet Your Autonomous Agent. This is where the dense administrative work we talked about earlier finally collides with AI velocity through a brand new Google tool called Spark.
What is so cool about this is that Spark is definitely not just another chatbot. It's more like a tireless digital employee that just grinds away in the background, even when your laptop is completely shut. Because it runs 24/7 on a dedicated cloud virtual machine, it doesn't rely on your device being awake. It natively hooks into your emails, your docs, your spreadsheets, no complicated setup required. And best of all, it can intelligently break down a massive, complex problem into separate, easily tracked subtasks. So how does this actually play out in real life? Well, according to the source material, you can literally just shoot Spark a voice note containing 5 totally different requests, and it will sort the whole thing out. You can tell it, hey, monitor my inbox specifically for messages from my kids' school, extract the important dates, and put them on my calendar. Now, think back to our first 2 sources. Imagine taking all that tedious financial math, the income verification, the legal notice periods, and just handing it all over to this agent to monitor for you. It can parse your bank statements and instantly flag those annoying, parasitic subscriptions you signed up for 3 years ago and totally forgot about. And check out their pricing strategy. It makes it crystal clear. Google truly believes the future is mass market delegation. They want everyday consumers offloading their life admin directly to the cloud. By dropping the price of the required Ultra plan from $250 down to just $100 a month, they're pulling this tech out of the exclusive hands of developers and putting it right into the hands of normal people who just want to automate their daily chores. So that leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on. As you think about the rigid rules dictating your daily life, the complicated terms, the strict legal math, the endless administrative tracking, how soon will you be trusting an AI to navigate all of that on your behalf? We are absolutely stepping into an era where the law might remain deliberately slow, but our ability to process it is going to be infinitely fast. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep questioning the future.